Hey, welcome back to Danford Golf. Today we're going to talk about 4 of the greatest drivers of all time and some of the commonalities that they have that you should probably introduce into what you have so you can be a great driver of the golf ball also. All right, so if you struggle with driving in any shape, way, or form, which a lot of us do out there, make sure you stay tuned to watch this video. We're just going to basically cover 2 simple things that will take care of, hopefully help you hit the ball a lot better. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe down at the bottom. You hit that little bell button and you get all our future videos, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoy our content today. So to begin our video on what you need to have, all right, one of the first things is you need to have axis tilt. All right, every great driver or good player out there has axis tilt, not only with their irons, but especially with their driver. It's going to be a little bit greater with your driver. If you're not quite sure what axis tilt is, it's basically taking your spine and tilting backwards. That's why you always see drivers on tour, or maybe buddies that you play with that are really good. They're going to have, the left shoulder is going to look higher than the right. They're not just going to droop one hand down, right? It's because they're tilting with their spine. So if you're not quite sure how to get into that position, you're just going to put that right up and down your spine, and you're going to tilt. And that club, when it touches the inside of your right leg, or left leg, sorry, all right, that is the tilt that you should basically start off with when you're driving a golf ball, right? And of course, you want to maintain that as you swing. So if I have this tilt here, as I get to the top, you're going to maintain it. Down to impact, you're going to maintain it also. Okay, so that's something that you have to have in your setup. Is you have to have tilt in order for you to be successful when it comes to driving the golf ball. So we know you have to have tilt. Now we're going to talk about what isn't really talked about a whole lot out there in YouTube videos. Well, at least I haven't really paid attention to a whole bunch of them. All right, but what the angle that your shaft sits at when you set up to it. Okay, a lot of golfers, when they set up to it, either have really low hands, or I see
Haywood, last year's American League home run champ at the plate. Vaughn kicks, fires. Here is a swing and a drive toward left field and deep. Oh boy.
No way, too high.
It is gone off the
arms that are very straight. All right, there's a particular angle that the greatest drivers that are common talked about have. All right, and I'm talking about, I'll show you videos of, or basically setups of Greg Norman, Jack Nicklaus, Adam Scott, all right, and Jon Rahm, because basically those guys are considered to be some of the greatest golfers and some of the best drivers of all time, especially Jack Nicklaus and Greg Norman, right? And you could talk about some of the shorter hitters that might be straighter, but this is more for, these are the guys who are power players, all right? Greg Norman hit a long ways, Jack Nicklaus hit a long ways. When he was 59, he had his swing speed measured for the first time. It was 118 miles per hour. All right, so you can imagine how fast it was when he was at his prime, right? And then we know Adam Scott and Jon Rahm, they both hit it a long ways. All right, so this is kind of something very similar that they all have in common, is the shaft angle when they set up to it. So the common shaft angle that they have is going to be anywhere between 47 and 50 degrees, and I'll show you those pictures here in just a second. They'll be up in the corner. All right, so when you set up to it, we want your shaft, if we're talking about the ground up, we want that to be sitting somewhere between there. I kind of like it to be a little bit higher. The reason I like it to be a little bit higher is because usually we tend to lose our posture a little bit. Everybody kind of does, especially with the driver. All right, Jack Nicklaus and Greg Norman weren't alone in that. They did too. All right, but as the shaft, if we start the handle up a little higher, it doesn't have to travel a great distance, and we can time that a little better. We can control the face a little bit better. If we start really low and we lose our posture, we're going to hit lots of blocks, lots of open faces, lots of slices because of that. So we might as well try to eliminate that a little bit by just starting off a little bit taller. So when you set up, the end of the club's going to feel like it goes actually just above your belly button, right, rather than at your belly button. And your posture, everything will feel a little bit taller than what you normally are. All right, so that is just the simple way that you can become a better driver of the golf ball, is just pay attention to how high your club is, maybe a little bit higher than the belly button with your driver, posture just a little bit taller, that'll help you out. These pictures that I put up there should definitely explain it just a little bit more. All right, this isn't really rocket science. This is just what some of the greatest drivers of the ball of all time have done. So I figured there's no reason that you shouldn't try to implement that I shouldn't try to implement that just to become a better driver of the golf ball. All right, so just make sure you have access tilt. Make sure your club is at the right place. All right, not too high hands, not too low. Try to find that happy medium. All right, you're going to also notice typically people talk about the driver should be underneath your chin. All right, you're going to notice these are a little bit, those all kind of set a little bit different with these players. All right, so there's not a general rule when it comes to that. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you become a better driver of the golf ball. Subscribe. If you're not a subscriber already, we appreciate that, and we'll see you back here next time.